question is, kind of gets you wondering on this particular subject as well. At least for me, it's like, well, why did they continue to pursue, and certain things were kind of playing out, though. I guess even at that point, yeah, you know, Robert E. Lee technically had surrendered, though, but I guess it wasn't necessarily a full, surrender. I guess is one way that you could interpret it to where.
That his army
Yeah,
left several other armies. You had the Army of Virginia, which was, and then you had the Western Theater guys. I can't remember them all. It's been 2 years since I've looked at Civil War,
yeah.
but
I always found that pretty interesting too. It's how I know that obviously with Robert E. Lee surrendering, and then obviously it wasn't a full surrender as one as we all know. Um, it just took time to kind of happen, I guess, from how it seemed and stuff to really get it all leveled out and stuff though, and um, and how it ended up turning out and stuff. So, um, but anywho, um, but
and they were not down there for the Battle of Palmetto Hill. They were also not the last Confederates to surrender either. That came out another month or so later in late June. An Indian general, it was Brigadier General Chief Stanwati.
yeah, there was
Was the final, he
too.
was the final Confederate to surrender, and his forces, I think they were Cherokee.
Yeah, I found I heard something about that though, and unfortunately that was one of the many things that I haven't gotten around to reading a lot about those. It's like but I have heard about that to that extent, and always found little topics or like big topics like that interesting. And how they all came, how things like that came to be, and how they ended up turning out and stuff. And I know for me. Uh, that was definitely quite the topic as to and kind of gets you well, I guess it kind of gets you wondering like why that happened and how the Cherokee got involved in the conflict as well, which kind of definitely begs that question, and at least for me it kind of gets you wondering how that all came about, and and you know
Well, the Indians couldn't trust the federal government, so they hoped to at least have better relations with the Confederate government.
yeah, I guess that's one way to look at it and stuff, and go about it though. So it kind of adds to the adds to the situation though, and and it's like, wow, that's interesting. I guess it's what you know. But anyways, but what are some interesting points you found interesting in this whole thing? I guess to kind of wrap it up for this particular, for Palmetto Ranch, what are some things that you found, as a final say in all this? What do you think as a final thing is your opinion?
I don't know. It was small engagement. I didn't keep my.
I think we lost you there for a second though. Um,
My
yep, I think we lost you there for a second there. My bad. but but anywho, I know it's definitely one of those particular um situations with it and all that sorts. Um, but anyhow, well, I guess it's one of those things, I guess, right?
yeah.
But nope, nope, nope. You're all good. You're all good.